Start start with chapter 3. The heading is on discussion with internal environment. Okay. So we'll discuss last session we were discussing with respect to external to the organization. Now we'll discuss with respect to internal environment. Okay. So what are the things we are going to discuss here? It's actually is a easy content where we'll be discussing one with respect to SWOT analysis and one with respect to Porter's generic strategies. So these are the two important headings we'll be discussing. Other things are all basics. See, probably one, two, three, four, five. This fourth and fifth one is direct content based. Other things are now somewhat touching the basic logics like. So probably in the first content we'll be discussing who are the key stakeholders, which means we'll be defining who are the stakeholders of my company and whom do you call as the key stakeholders. For this, we'll take the help of this person's matrix called as Mendelow's matrix. So I'll discuss that later. When we go for defining a strategy, there'll be some factors which will be influencing, and depending on those factors only, I'll define the strategy. I mean, like I'll craft the strategy, which means they'll be called as influencers or influencers. Not I'm talking about human beings. I'm talking about the factors, or we may be calling this as characteristics, or we may be calling another term called as drivers. Okay, because of these drivers, they drive to define the strategy. Okay, so we'll be calling them as drivers. So strategic drivers. Actually, most of the companies, these four will be called as the strategic drivers. One is the industry and the market. See, it's not industry separately and market separately. It's put together industry and market, which means something is having some influencing power over here. So this is the first one. Second thing is customers are the king. Often when we talk about customers, we usually get confused with customers and consumers. So we'll be clarifying that one. And what are the products and services we are doing it, and in what mode we do it. So probably marketing channels means they are dealing with marketing. So these are the four headings we'll be discussing. Four heading means four strategic drivers. Then we go for core competency, which means, see, again, when we went for defining strategy, you remember to gain competitive advantage, which means I need to have a competency, not a normal competency, my unique competency. That's my core competency, so that I can gain advantage, which means I can sustain in the competition and I can gain advantage. And SWOT analysis is strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. All these four things will be discussed. Two are internal and two are external. And Porter is defining these strategies called as generic strategies, which means one is you should be you should define a strategy in such that you give this cost leadership, which means cost effective you should be, and you should show this differentiation in the product. Okay. All these reasons, every time we cannot talk about innovative product. You agree with me? See, when you talk about innovation, it should be in such a way that nobody has produced. But differentiation is something where it is already there and you're slightly differentiating in some terms or something like that. Okay. And we'll go for focus. Again, focus is with respect to cost leadership we have and people just also the groups, the stakeholders, the processes, which means input, throughput, output process, physical infrastructure. When we talk about physical infrastructure, we have to talk about the space, equipment, and also physical conditions of work. We have to go with respect to administrative apparatus, which means lines of authority, hierarchy, organizational structure, okay, power, responsibility. We have to talk about accountability and organizational culture and intangible aspects of working, which means relationship, philosophy, values, ethical relationship. That every philosophy, values, ethical relationship. That everything put together is how the organization is defined. So how you identify this organization? This is how you identify the organization. Okay, this is about the internal innovation. For some para, I'll go word to word, line by line. Okay, for some I'll just skip because it's all basic. For something we need the help of the lines or the words so that we can understand the topic in a very much better way. Okay, so probably specific to each organization. Even though we have defined so many things, for my organization I may not have everything. So I'll be more specific. So probably when we talk about all stakeholders, it may be including top management, investors, employees, board of directors, investors, everybody will be put together here. So why we need to understand this internal environment, what basic ethical principles, what is my work environment, how far the organization is employee friendly. Okay. I remember I just don't want to mention this hotel name. We went to a restaurant again for a lunch. And usually when we go for lunch, what we do is we go see the star biryani. They said it's a non-veg type in restaurant. If we go for buying biryani, what the other person says is the servers, the supervisors or managers, they ask to take some other extra side dish. It might be sometimes costly, sometimes we might not be preferring all this to be involved. So that was one review we saw. Another one review was the servers over there are not user friendly. So what person has given this review that they are not user friendly, they are so much pressurizing, they are not properly giving the service and all. So again, the manager has replied for that. Yes. So here, so how far they are employee friendly? Okay, employees' point of view, they want to be, they want others friendliness. Confidence of investors. Okay, let me invest in this company. How far I'll gain this return on investment? What's my dividend? Will I get any capital appreciation? I'll be thinking all of this. So philosophical and cultural aspects also will be there. That all relays for the success of the management. So directly we'll go for the starts from here only. We need to understand who are the stakeholders, not only who are the stakeholders, who are the key stakeholders. Okay. So when we talk about stakeholders, we have to talk about everybody. See, employees, shareholders, investors, suppliers, customers, regulators, and so on. Probably we cannot just say they are stakeholders in the sense that when we talk about shareholders, they are the owners, which means actually we call them as notional owners of the company. They are the owners. And obviously, before coming inside, they'll be called as the investors. But when we say shareholders, we'll not talk about investors over here because investors are somebody who have not come inside our business. Investors are seen as external to the organization. Shareholders are seen internal to the organization. Okay. So when we say shareholder, they are the owners of the organization. But here the content is not about shareholders, but about stakeholders, which means who are all having any claim. Who are all having any claim. So in that angle, if you define a claim, they impact on the business or the corporate strategy. Okay. So they have the power to influence. So we can have these four bodies. One is interest, one is stake, one is claim, and power to influence. So ultimately, now when we define stakeholders, we can include, please highlight. There we were not mentioning management. Here now we are including management. Employees already included, shareholders included, customers included. See, vendors are five forces, right? What does five forces model? Bargaining power of buyers and bargaining power of suppliers. So buyers, customers, consumers and customers are different. Customers need not consume. That's why we call customers different and consumers different. So bargaining power of consumers and vendors, bargaining power of supplier as a force. So they also have an impact. So everything has to be considered. The first question will be what is SSA? Immediately we probably say Sahasri Singar Academy. Oh, you give coaching, vocal coaching and dance coaching and all? No, we won't give coaching. Dance coaching and all? No, we won't give coaching. Immediately, okay, which means you're working in this organization, it's a prestige for. Okay. And so production houses, they'll be worried about growth and stability of ordering. See, they'll be thinking, I'm ordering all these star-related movies and documentaries and other things and all. What about it? Will it be possible for me to maintain this order for the next 2 years or 5 years? So Netflix is maintaining, but there is a tough competition for Amazon. There is a competitor, which is Amazon is also holding the tough competition. Okay, what happens is that Netflix is not buying that production, which means what? Not making the documentary or not buying that script, whether there is any new content here. Always boring. Only romantic movies or only action related movies. Nothing is new. See, nowadays we need something new content. There may be new faces acting, whatever it is. There may not be any songs. They may be have a dull picture or low voice range and all, but we need to have some innovative product. So what about that? So then better things, yes, pricing benefits. Many are not buying Netflix. Why? Because if you subscribe, if you go for Geo subscription, you'll get Geo Tix, Disney Hotstar and all. So likewise, for many cases, we'll get Amazon. But what about Netflix? We have to subscribe, then only we'll get it. So Netflix OTT platform has become like a பெரிய ஆளுமைப்பா. Like step. Then value for money and continuous supply. Okay, value for money should be there, and there should be a continuous supply. Then the employees, what they will think. நீங்க என்ன வேணா கொண்டு போங்க எனக்கு சம்பளம் கொடுங்கப்பா. See, asset earnings, okay, because for the livelihood. And what are the benefits they enjoy? Okay, not only that, gratuity, pension, other all benefits, perquisites, work related and non-work related. Stability of employment. If I work here today, will it be possible for me to work for another 5 years here itself, or another 10 years, or I'll just join for 1 year and for the next year I have to go search for another job. If I go or if I come out of the organization, if I get a new job, then it's fine. If I'm not getting a job, what is my life now? Okay, so that's a problem. And pride of working. Yes, this is a recruiter organization. Yes, even though I get a small salary or little salary, that's fine. I'm getting a reputation over. That happens. So that's about it. So now we'll go for mental loss matrix. Also, it's called as stakeholder analysis matrix. So we need to analyze a stakeholder analysis matrix, and also it's called as power interest matrix. So when we talk about matrix, it's an alignment of rows and columns. So we need to have a row definition and column definition. Probably we'll go to the matrix directly, then we'll come for this content. Actually, it's an easy content only. So we say this is power interest matrix, right? So we say this is power interest matrix, right? So here we'll talk about power, which is nothing but the influence in power. And here we'll talk about the interest. Actually, it looks like this is x-axis at and here we'll talk about the interest. Actually, it looks like this is x-axis at y-axis, but it's called as a matrix form. Matrix is an arrangement. So here, when we talk about interest, it can be low or it can be high. It's only a four-cell matrix. So two modes or two definitions of interest. One is low interest and one is high interest. Okay. And likewise, if you go for power, again we have its two. One is low power and one is high power. So it's two columns here and two columns over here. So it's 2 by 2 matrix we call. So it's 2 by 2 is four cell matrix. So when we talk about this power, it may be low or it may be high. Depending on this, see this category is low power and low interest. Am I right? Which means we'll give low priority. Say though they don't have power, they don't have interest, then why we need to give priority? So you just monitor only, you need not make any engagement. General occasional communication. What are the things you have to give it? You give to them. Okay. Likewise, when you go for this case, this is low power, but they have high influence, sorry, high interest. Okay. So probably utilized in the high interest by engaging in decision making. Okay, because they have a high interest in the organization, you make them involved in decision making and consult in the areas of expertise and interest. When we go for this case, low power, sorry, low, high power, there's high influence and low interest. So often consult because they're having high power, often consult with them and you try to increase their interest. Because if you try to increase their interest, they will shift to this side. Am I right? Which means they will become high in power and high in influence also. See, when we have too many stakeholders, we cannot fit new ideas and strategy choices because they don't have interest, but they have high influencing power. Interest means what? We are talking about the shareholder, voting power and all. Okay, they are having small voting power, because of some passing of any resolution, probably they are holding like 10% or 15%, they may be disturbing our resolutions. So that's why they will be a hindrance, which means they will be blocking our ideas, which cannot make it innovative. So new ideas or starting choice. Yeah, they are the key players. High power and high interest. Managed closely, we have to take a look and keen care. They will be involved in decision making. We have to engage them regularly and build a strong relationship. So if you go below this line, you'll find that who are the key satisfied stakeholders? There is high power and less interested people, banks, government, customers. See, government is having a high power, but what happens is here they are not having stake here. Stake in the sense shares here. See, less interested. Customers, probably, if I don't buy the losing, I not have a big stake here, which means big shares over here, less interest stakeholders. So managing a project this is not normal. Okay, so we are going to manage a project. We need to know who are the stakeholders. Strategic drivers 3.3. So if we have already done the key stakeholders. Now we have to go for drivers. Then we have to go for confidence. It's all interlinked. Okay. So we are talking about the and what are the products and services we provide and the channels. So directly we'll have a four strategic drivers here. So they are the key strategic drivers. One is industry and market. So industry and market put together we'll discuss and customers, products, or services and channels. Okay. So first we'll go for industry and markets. So you know what you meant by industry. Myself, I'm producing a product. Yourself, you're producing your organization producing some other product, but it's of similar in nature. We call it as an industry. Food industry. See, you might be knowing ITC, and Tata. They are in so many industries. They are in hotel industries. But for soap will not always separate industry. Understand? They are in pharma also. But for soap will not call it as a separate industry. For Tora Purple will not Marks Spencer, Pantaloons, Westside, all these are selling garments, apparels. Okay, which means stitched ready-made dresses, not cloths, ready-made dresses. So we have these. So they are all classified as apparels. We can give anything from. We can give for mobile industry also. We can give for e-commerce also. Anything you can give. Now we'll define. So that's about industry. Now we'll define what you find as a sum total of all the buyers and sellers in the area or region under consideration and how they are what associated. Before that, I'll just check whether I have left out. Let me come over. Let me finish off this pattern. Okay. So what do you mean by it's a very important heading for. Okay. Strategic grouping. See, you may expect this question under industry and market. Define this one. Let me go line by line. Okay, this is quite important. A strategic group which will have in that group. See, I'm talking about GHI as one group, which means G is also having reputation and they are competing themselves. That's why we call as GHI. See, we have Mahindra, we have Tata, we have Maruti, we have other players also, but who is directly competing with same size, which means what? Same range of products and same reputation. Okay, so those rival firms which have similar competitive approaches and positions in the market. Please highlight approaches and positions. Companies in the strategic group can resemble one another in any of the several ways. Probably one is product line. Tata is also producing petrol vehicles, and this one is Mahindra geographic coverage. Vertical integration is there. Mahindra and Mahindra automobile is using their own steel. Yes. So raw material is provided by its own industry. Product line breadth should be considered use of distribution channels and degree of service offered. Then DHI and ABC have a keen look, it'll be more better, okay? Customers, the second driver is a very important driver, but obviously, what happens is each and every time I cannot give importance only to the customers. Probably customers together, we call it as a market, and market together is what we call as the industry. So only the customer is the important driver. No, no, you cannot say exactly that. So obviously, because of the customers only, our organization is linked only. Okay. So to understand customers in a better way, we need to understand who are the different types of customers. Okay. And obviously, different customers will have different needs and also they require different sales model and different channels. Beautiful content now. So as I was telling, whether I'll use a physical marketplace, no, I'll go for virtual marketplace. Whether I'll go for branded item, no, I'll go for a non-branded item. Whether I go for a non-branded item, no. See, I'm a single person for one item, for one need. I may be using a branded one. For one other need, I may be using a non-branded. So for one person itself, it's having a difference. So depending on, see, now I'll read this line. Please understand. Different customers, okay, different needs. So different sales model, different channels. Everything is different. It's not but talking about one person. Talking about one person according to their needs may be different, and according to that, sales model will be different, and channels also might be different. For example, now we have this IKEA Jack. I've talked so many times about this IKEA furniture. Okay, if you have so they were doing all this marketing through online and now budget of headphone. High value, see, phone பத்தாயிரம் தான் வாங்குறோம் ஹெட்ஃபோன் 1000 ரூபாய் வாங்குவோமா 1000 ரூபாய்க்கு ஏதாவது கிடைக்காதான் பாருங்க okay high value buyers medium value buyers low value buyers even though without headphone also we can survive but still headphone has become a basic necessity for us especially when you use phone in Singer Academy we need headphone along with phones okay so we can now classify high value how many customers in thousands so only 40 plus what about medium value? It's a bit higher. What about low value? It's very high. Okay, less than 1500. It's very high. Okay, this is how it goes. So, when we talk about customers, actually, customers we are not directly seeing this as humans, but ultimately we are seeing this as profit generators. Okay, they generate profits. So, now the issue is now the problem is how we are going to identify the customer and which area you are going to target and what are the basic findings. That's the factors on which you and another one interesting concept is here we have the relationship between customer and consumer power. So we know this already, so I'm not going line by line. So pricing perspective also we have discussed here. We have given so many examples, see from baby diapers to headphones and so many things we have discussed. So I think we can directly go for product and services. So easy content. Shall I take over? Product and services. Yes, we cannot. Sometimes we say product alone and manufacturing. Sometimes we say service alone and providing. Sometimes we cannot separate product and service separately, which means that they are closely linked and interrelated. Okay. So probably we'll go for a general question. What business we are in? Because this is your organization. You need to define. It's not the name defines your business. It's about what products or service you provide that defines it. So what business are we in and what should be done to win over competition? Each product and service we service. So one product I'm going to service. Mahindra. We have automobile. We have steel. We have farm equipments, defense, and so on. Utility vehicles. So when you talk about product, it stands for the combination of goods and services. Please highlight. It's not all. It's and services that offers to the target market. See, first we are discussing with respect to industry and market. Second, we are discussing with respect to customers. Now we need to understand which is the target market in terms of goods and service put together. Okay. So they need to, we need this for managing existing product, supplies over time, adding new ones. So you know this product life cycle, right? Sometimes we need to add new ones. When it is in the maturity stage, I need to go for the next product. If I'm not manufacturing or if I'm not in a plan to go for the next product, then my business is going down. Okay. So dropping failed products, something is by or Mahindra farm equipments, which is for agri purpose, or Mahindra utility vehicles. No, I just went through this one. I think. I'm not okay with the spelling. It's not getting registered in my mind. Let me check. It's about Mahindra's logistic. Using that we had only petrol vehicle. We had then we using that we had only petrol vehicle. We had then we had diesel, then gas, then electric. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. Okay, so everything will be changing. So we'll be discussing about set of policies and strategies depending on how my organizations to work is on dynamics because our environment is totally dynamic. See, our environment is dynamic, not only our environment. We say that the customer is also dynamic, which means the taste is dynamic. Okay, and when we talk about more in detail with respect to products, we can differentiate this with respect to size, shape, color, packaging, brand names, after sale service, and so many things. Okay, recently I came across this Mahindra Batman. Mahindra meets Batman. Probably you can check on this also. Mahindra meets Batman. When I was returning from Kodaikanal in the car, it was totally dark, right? இருட்டுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல அந்த மாதிரி நம்ம வண்டி போறது மட்டும் தான் தெரியும் ஆப்போசிட்ல திஸ் மஹேந்திரா வெஹிக்கல் கேம் இந்த மிரர் இது பாத்தீங்கன்னா கண்ணாடி போட்ட மாதிரி இருக்கு இந்த லைட்டிங்ஸ் ஆப்போசிட்ல வண்டி தெரியவே இல்லை ஒன்லி த லைட்ஸ் கேன் பி சீன் கம்ப்ளீட் பிளாக் and then I just went through this caption. It's called Mahindra meets Batman. See, it's beautifully so where I am. So, oh, here, after sales service and so many things. Ah, yes, sometimes it happens. This differentiation may not be real, it may be imaginary also. See, we are not, see, when we talk about this Mahindra Batman series, actually, the Batman symbol is all over there in the windshield mirror and in the steering and everything and all. But it's only imaginary. It's not giving other different experience over. Okay, it's only black in color. See, when we go for other models, we have different colors. Different shades are there. But when we go for Batman series, it's only black color and the Batman symbol is there. Okay. Likewise, when you go for shampoo brands, we have Head and Shoulders, Olay, Old Spice, Pantene, all belong to P&G, Procter and Gamble. உங்களுக்கு வந்து போடுறது இருக்கா head and shoulder. You have seen this head and shoulder ad. They'll not be showing head. They'll be showing the shoulders. Okay, because all இதை போட்டுக்கன்னா வந்து ஷோல்டர்ல தான் இருக்கும் லைட்டா தலையை தட்டினா நீங்க பாட்டி வந்து ஒரு கேர்ள் சூப்பரா நம்மளுக்கு முன்னாடி போறாங்க ஒரு பாய் வந்து ஸ்மார்ட்டா முன்னாடி போறாங்க சொல்லி இப்படி தலையை இப்படி பண்ணி பாருங்க ஃபுல்லா ஷோல்டர்ல வந்து இது இருக்கும் டேண்ட்ரஃப் இருக்கும் ஸோ நான் ஓன் கற்பனைலாம் சொல்ல அந்த அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட் அப்படிதான் வந்திருப்பா ஹெட் அண்ட் ஷோல்டர் இது தட்டி ஹேவ் ஆல்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் டீசென்டான ஆடா காமிக்கணும்னா இது என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க டவல்ல தொடச்சிப்பாங்க டவல்ல தொடச்சா டேண்ட்ரஃபா இருக்கும் அப்படி இருக்க கூடாது லைக் brothers and sisters would be playing டவல்ல தொடச்சா என்ன எவ்வளவு டேண்ட்ரஃபான்னு சொல்லி ஒரு ஆட் இருக்கும் அண்ட் பேண்டி like this if you go for the brands you will have like oily hair dry hair what type of hair you have frizzy hair அந்த மாதிரி எக்கச்சக்கமா வைக்கிறாங்க okay so how they formalize this product differentiation is by brand names and for the respective products. See, this PNG, Head and Shoulders respective product, Pantene is respective product, but all belong to PNG only. Okay. So the firm's image is built around brand spa. So just now we were talking about this group mapping, right? So particular product over a particular period of time. So when we talk about new product, we'll talk about pricing strategy because we are just now entering the market. So it should be designed in such a way, and we have to keep three things in our mind. What is that? Now there is We have following this customer centric. We have two types of approach. One is customer centric and one is product centric. Okay, whether we are following this one, and products produces sufficient returns and increasing in the market share. So when we talk about this one, we have to talk about how we are going to bring to the customer. See, it's all okay, fine. Customers are there, industry and market is there, industry and market is there. How we are going to take that to the industry? That is that to the market. So the customers will be aware of it. One is social marketing. Okay. So probably social marketing is we bring probably some society related changes we try. Because see, smoking in Delhi is prohibited. Probably you might be knowing that uh, near the school areas, we should not sell drugs and smoking is prohibited zones and all. So that's one. So it refers to design, implementation, and control of programs, increasing to the accessibility of social ideas. So we take the help of that. Next is augmented matrix. Marketing. Marketing is what type of additional benefits we provide, say, including additional customer service and benefits like after sales service. Okay. Next is direct marketing. Yes, direct advertisement media. So what are the different medias we have? We take everything. Okay. So direct marketing includes catalog selling, email, telecommuting, it's all direct marketing. Next is relationship marketing. Yes, we want to give some support to the channel. So you're my regular customer. I give some support. See, in airplanes and all, what they do is airports and all. They give the major airports and all. They give for to building this relationship. They give some specific benefits. They give the rest area, waiting room and all. Okay. So the process of creating, so it's relationship, right? Process of creating, maintaining, go for service marketing. So it's like marketing to service thing. So service something what you cannot actually measure. You have to make them feel. It's something connected with emotion. Am I right? So person marketing. Okay. Who is this? I want to use Luxo. Okay. I have some person X paying this ad. I'm not interested. But instead, what I do, I have Tendulkar over here. So Tendulkar, you know this boost is for Tendulkar. For bad, there was a Tendulkar picture. Tendulkar signature will be there. So likewise, we'll give the persons highlight, ambassadors like that. So politicians, sports stars, film stars, they market themselves to get votes and promote their careers. Recently, I saw this Velaman school ad. Gukesh got this championship, right? Chess master. So after he got this championship, after he got this role, everywhere, wherever say the Velaman ad, we get this Gukesh photo. Okay. Organization marketing, yes, it's applicable for both a non-profit organization and profit organization. We'll talk about the behavior of the target audience and we then place marketing if it's a tourism related. So hotel industry will be developing over there. So depending on the place, we talk about the marketing. Enlightened marketing, probably what type of marketing will be helpful? Probably this is like a hybrid case bar. We'll be considering all the marketing. So we'll consider five principles. See, enlightened means I'm not talking about today's business alone. I'm talking about tomorrow's also. So I'll talk about the long run performance. Five principles will be followed. One is customer oriented. Second is innovative. Third is value marketing. Fourth is sense of mission. And fifth is societal marketing. All these five principles will be kept in the mind and notice. So customer oriented. Focus on customers. Innovative marketing. I want to bring something innovative. Okay. Next is value marketing. See, not only innovative, it should be value creation, value addition also. Sense of mission marketing, which means how I'm going to make it more emotional to them directly. And societal marketing, we have discussed already. Okay, relating to society ideas. Then differential marketing, so same like we discussed Pantene shampoo and other shampoos. See, Hindustan Unilever has soap brands, Lifebuoy. Who will be using Lifebuoy? Those persons sitting in the AC and going to home, they'll not use Lifebuoy. They'll use Lux, Rexona, another thing. Who will use Lifebuoy? I'm a marketing person. Okay, I'm a sports related person. Then I'll go for life boy. ஏன்னா லைஃப் பாய் ஆட்லயே பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒருத்தர் வந்து பயங்கரமா வேலை செஞ்சுட்டு குளிச்சுட்டு இருப்பாரு. இதே லக்ஸுக்கு பாத்தீங்கன்னா அழகா பாத்டப்ல போட்டு சோப் போடுவாங்க. ஓகே, the difference is there. Life boy is different, Lux is different. Okay, நீங்க வந்து கேர்ள் ஃபிரெண்ட் இல்ல பாய் ஃபிரெண்ட் பார்க்க போறீங்கன்னா லக்ஸ் போடுங்க. ஓகே, இதே வந்து நீங்க ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்ல கேம் ஆட போறீங்கன்னா லைஃப் பாய் போடுங்க. டிஃபர்ஸ் அவ்வளவுதான். இதான் லைஃபா? That's the advertisement they give. Likewise, toothpaste ad and all. Synchro marketing. Okay, product like movie theaters, sorry, movie tickets and all, is sold at lower prices over weekdays to generate demand. If you go for the theme park and all, if you go for the weekend, it will be like a heavy crowd and all. So what they do is they lower the ticket price. So during the weekdays, you can utilize that place. So this is synchro marketing. Synchro means some type of link niche will be created. Okay. And concentrated marketing is a beautiful content. This type of marketing is a market coverage strategy. Okay. I'll take a large share in the market or one of the few sub markets and I'll go for this type of niche marketing. Actually, this is also niche, this is also niche. But especially when we say concentrated, we'll have some link with respect to marketing. Okay. So directly we can have this as niche marketing. So please remove this name over here. Here I use the niche because of some common term. Here they say concentrated marketing is a form of niche marketing. Okay. So remove this term over here. Then demarketing. Yes. Again, I discuss the theme parks and all. Busy time, we don't use it. On Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays, it will be overcrowded. Don't use it. So other times, you use it. So your probably ticket fare will be less. Or if you go in 10 for another two, it will be free. Okay. During the summer holidays, it will be very crowded. So the hospitality industry, the hotels and hill stations and all will be very crowded. The fare will be higher. So other times we are expecting to come. So these are all covered under product and service. Channels. So channels means how the products will be distributed. Okay. One thing I often wonder is about the Maggie noodles. Probably I might have discussed this earlier. Wherever you go, if you are in a hurry burry or if you want to eat immediately, we go for Maggie. Maggie is made available in all over the areas. In South India, you get it. In North India, you get it. In hill stations, you get it. Even if you go for any local side markets, you get it. Even if you go for any highway, you get Maggie noodles. I'm talking about Maggie, not all the noodles. Maggie. There are so many other brands also, but we focus on Maggie. And when this Maggie is made available in all the places, then what are the channels are made available so that it's made access for all the people? I think for two batches before, I was doing a case on Aruna ice creams. So this time I've taken my hint. I was doing for Aruna ice cream CEO. The main founder is his name is Mr. Chandra Mohan. So he was giving an interview. He was saying that this Arun ice creams should be made available even in a village side market. Village side market is not like a டீ கடை இருக்கும் ஒரு நாலு சப்பு இடத்துல ஒரு டீ கடை இருக்கும் அங்கேயும் அவைலபிளா இருக்கும். That was major thing. Milk package should be available. Hudson. Hudson is his brand. Okay, milk package should be made available. So it should be made available means what is the distribution system you have to follow? That's about the channels. Okay, so that's channels are nothing but the distribution system. Okay, so probably if we talk about this Lakme, so as I was discussing with Arun and Maggie, we can talk about Lakme. As I was talking with respect to IKEA also. Remember earlier they were doing with respect to online. Now they're opening a showroom. Okay. So like they are giving for both headphones. Both headphones like it's available in Flipkart and Amazon only. Coca-Cola is available everywhere. Okay. So this is how they sell their products and services. See, so far they were focusing that product and services has to reach to the customer. Okay, but how it will be reached? It will be reaching, okay, but how it will be reached? Okay, so we'll be having different channels also. Okay, so usually we go for three channels. Okay, one is sales channel, one is product channel, and third one is after that what you do. So service channel. So when you talk about sales channel, probably through each channel, how the selling will be made. So fashion designer, how they are making their products to be sold as a retail. Okay. So I'm not going to buy hundreds and hundreds of dresses. For my daily wear, I'm going to purchase some 10 or 5 or something like that in few numbers only. So how I'm going to take the help of that. Okay. Then product channel, probably how many intermediaries will be there. So it's not directly going to the market. Through the intermediaries only they go. Then how they going to physically handle the product? Please highlight. Physical handling of the product is important, right? See, when we talk about apparel show, Reliance or Westside or anything like that, they are selling the service and also the product. It's not just the product. If you go there and if I ask for my size, they give the service to me. Okay. And the product has to be brought to that place. How they are going to handle the product? Because it has to travel in so many places. So ultimately, how it's going to reach the end user. Then next is service channel. Yes, product is okay, sales is okay, but it has reached. But what are the things you're going to provide me? I'm buying an AC. How it has to be installed? Okay, I'm buying a furniture like sofa or something. How I'm going to install them? Whether I can do it on my own or they'll be helping with some process. So there's an example here: dishwasher. We buy it from the showroom, but it has to be contracted. That is, it has to be installed with a plumber. So this channel has to be analyzed properly, and this channel analysis is one of the business strategy. If you plan to grow or expand your business beyond the current geographical market and so on, definitely what you have to plan? You have to plan for this channel. So else you will not sustain because you produce so much of products, you become so big, but there's no proper distribution channel, then you're not going to sustain over there. Okay, so you have this healthcare brand and all. Okay, and also when you talk about diapers, so I was talking elderly customers. We talk about the adult diapers is also there. It's now made available. So when you go for this out of stations and all, diapers for baby diapers is available. Elderly used diapers, adult diapers is also made available nowadays. Okay. So another example, like okay, like school drinks and all, even in hill station, it's made bottled water. That's also a beautiful example. You know, in hill stations and all is not available. The 1 liter bottle and all is not available. 5 liters can only is available, but still it's made available. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So this is about 3.3. Next class will be discussing the next 50 limits.